So my name's Stephanie. I did PSCI 494 and I took it in my final year. So that would be my 5th year. So what motivated me to take this course, partially it was a requirement for me because I'm not a co-op student, but also I thought the idea of choosing my own topic to research and present was really interesting because I liked the freedom that it gave me and that it gave me the chance to explore something I was very interested in before my undergrad was over. So the topic that I chose for my SLICC was Donald Trump's presidency and the first 100 days since the US election. So the title of my SLICC was President-Reelect Donald Trump's first 100 days since the US election. So I kind of explored what was going on in American politics, the way that Trump had kind of influenced both the American political scene as well as the global political scene. And I decided to take kind of a creative take to my project. So I ended up doing a anthology of poems, kind of highlighting the main issues, the main events that we saw coming out of the since the U.S. election in the first couple months of Donald Trump's presidency, and kind of the way the contemporary political sphere was affected by that. As I said, I designed my SLICC. I wanted to take a creative approach, so I did a anthology of poems. I wanted to combine both of my biggest interests, I would say. I really enjoy politics. That was my undergrad, and for a long time, I wanted to pursue an English minor, but it just didn't work out with other courses I had in the other minor that I was doing. So I feel like I didn't really get to focus too much on writing throughout my undergrad, even though that's a passion of mine, and I thought I would combine the two and kind of see if I could develop both like my inquiry skills and my analysis skills while taking a creative approach. And I was aware that it would be a little challenging, but that's why I wanted to kind of give that opportunity to myself to work on those skills that I feel like I wasn't really able to use throughout my undergrad very much. So my instructor, Professor Mufti she was there a lot throughout the process. She was always available if you needed guidance, if you needed help. I really liked that she planned several in-person classes throughout the term so that she could kind of check in on where everyone was. We could ask questions. We were able to do workshops to kind of help us with the various components of the SLICC. And there was just a lot of support throughout it. You always could go to her if you needed any help, and that was really nice. That was helpful. I did receive a lot of support from peers, family members, friends. A lot of people were really interested in my project topic, which was nice. I received kind of a lot of suggestions on what I can do. I workshopped some of my poems with friends and family beforehand, just to see if it fit, if the flow was going well. And I was also able to do a lot of my research by talking with peers just because there was new things happening every single day and everyone wanted to talk about it. So I was able to express what I'd learned, hear new things that I could then go and research. So that was really helpful. Awesome. I would say that I had a few breakthrough moments in my SLICC. I can't pinpoint one specific one. There are definitely a couple throughout the term, but I would definitely say pretty early on, kind of unfortunately but fortunately for my project, as soon as Trump got into office, a lot of things started happening, and it was kind of inescapable to see all the things that were going on, and it was just constant research for my project every single day. I was a little worried initially that maybe it's not going to be a very eventful presidency. Maybe nothing crazy is going to happen that early on. So that was definitely a worry for me going into it, that there wouldn't be too much to talk about in my project, but I was wrong. There was a lot. So I would probably say around the first month of my SLICC is when I realized this was the direction I'm very glad that I chose. And there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to research and a lot of interesting components to work into my SLICC. I definitely did find it a bit difficult to navigate what timeline I wanted to follow and when I wanted to stop, just because there was so much happening around the midterm point of my project. I kind of was told, because we did a midterm presentation about our project and where things were at, and I kind of shared that I was getting a little overwhelmed with the amount of things, and I didn't know how much I could include and incorporate into my project without kind of burning myself out. And a lot of my peers suggested kind of just stop now, don't do anything else going forward, just work with what you have. And that's what I ended up doing, and it ended up working out really well. I'm glad that I had them there to kind of tell me, slow down, what you have is good, and work with that. I would say that the SLICC definitely helped my approach to learning and problem solving. Throughout my undergrad, I have kind of had issues with procrastination, and if I wasn't being like very heavily guided, I would tend to lose track of things and I wouldn't really get stuff done, and I wasn't the best with deadlines. So I was a little worried going into the SLICC that, okay, maybe I'm not going to be able to hold myself, I'm not going to be able to meet the standards I'm holding myself to. Maybe I won't be able to meet some of these deadlines. But I think what really helped was the freedom and just the ability to research something that I really, really cared about and that was really interesting to me, that helped me be a lot more disciplined and to meet those deadlines really, really well. And that kind of changed my approach to learning in the sense that I see that these things are possible. Like, I am able to stick to a timeline that I made for myself. I am able to be disciplined and get all my work done when I set my mind to it. So that really helped. That helped me see myself in a different light, and that helped me feel more confident in my own work ethic. So that was really nice. I would definitely say that reflection helped me grow throughout the SLICC process. It gave me the chance to kind of slow down, and when things weren't going right, instead of just feeling bad about it and then moving past it without really giving it much more thought and just kind of repeating the same process every other time an assignment deadline came up or something went wrong in my learning. It really gave me the chance to kind of sit down and investigate, why is this happening? What are potential contributors to this issue? What are some things that I can change? And that really helped. I feel like that was a huge, something that really helped me with my time management, just because I was able to sit and reflect, like, okay, what is distracting me? What is causing me to want to avoid my work, to not want to do it? So that really helped me learn more about myself and also learn more about strategies I can use to overcome certain issues that I have. If I was in a job interview, the components of a SLICC that I would highlight as being important, I would definitely talk about the opportunity that I had to take that course in my final year of undergrad and to basically lead a self-directed research project that I later presented in a symposium with peers and other members of my faculty, and how that caused me to really strengthen my critical thinking, my analysis, my research skills, as well as just my time management and discipline. So for any student who's considering taking a SLICC course, I would definitely recommend that they go for it. I think it's a great opportunity to kind of be able to branch out from typical academic learning that we see in university. It gives people an opportunity to research a topic that they're very interested in and get really involved with it, and also just work creatively. And I think it's a really great opportunity, and it really helps you build some really important skills. I would like to say that I feel like this was just very beneficial for me. I did take it in my last semester, so I wasn't able to carry over those skills in the rest of my academic terms, but I just feel like I got to end my undergrad with something that I was really proud of. I felt was a pretty big accomplishment, and I feel like I was able to kind of work on a lot of the struggles that I had through my undergrad, and I almost completed it in like a nice way because I had fixed some of those things. I'd worked on those skills and I'd improved a lot of things that I wanted to improve for a long time. So I think it was a really nice way to kind of end things off, and I'm able to carry it into my career and into my life after school, which was really nice.